Hello, friends. Welcome back to another episode of GM Philosophy in the Morning. I'm the GM Philosopher. Today we are reacting to a contest-winning homebrew entry from Darth Vader. This took place on the Discord channel, GM Philosophy Discord. Link is in the description if you want to join that. But basically, we do a lot of cool stuff down there. And in the latest contest, which was an adventure outline creation contest, Darth Vader posted an entry called Killer Croissant. Then it ended up winning the whole contest. And so it's a it's like an adventure outline. Let me read you the notes about the contest. This contest challenged contestants to create a module without the fluff. No NPC speech boxes, no flavor text, no stat blocks, just the core concepts of an adventure. 9 plucky adventurers threw their hats into the ring, presenting everything from single sessions of fun to the backbone of an entire campaign. Many contestants and voters alike agreed that this contest presented extremely difficult choices in the voting rounds. If anything, this means our contests are producing better and better results. Once the dust cleared, Darth Vader had claimed his second content creation contest victory with his Killer Croissant adventure. I have not seen this adventure. I do not know what it is. I know nothing about it other than I heard a lot of people talk about it. But thankfully, I didn't see any spoilers. I also want to let you know that I'm not just reacting to the winning contest entry, Killer Croissant by Darth Vader. I'm also going to react to all of the others. So stay tuned if you want to hear some zany, wacky, wild, and in some cases, downright interesting and cool adventure outlines. You might want to grab one and run it in your game. So let's jump in. Let's check it out. So I'm basically going to open it up for the first time right now. And here we go. We're going to react to it. So this is a 2-page adventure. All right. So we're going to start here up here at the top page. Insert name here by Darth Vader. This adventure can be scaled for any level due to the modular creature. Okay, okay. Background. In the town of Insert Town here, there is a baker's shop owned by Insert name here. This is so funny. So this is like very customizable, very tailored. I can also see that there's been no fluff. There's no graphics. It's all just very, black and white, print friendly, ready to go. Copy paste into doc, print friendly, because that's what we want when we're printing things out. We don't want to print out pages of full color stuff. Who needs that aggravation? And ink is expensive. Anyway, the bakery was visited by an insert hag, witch, fairy, any other creature of abnormal origins who is capable of causing hexes or something similar, who wanted a special deal of some kind, but the baker refused. And after the refusal, the hexer placed a spell or ability of some kind that could cause animation in an inanimate object onto one of the baked goods. The baked good becomes animated, and when the baker goes to throw out the unsold daily goods, gathers the remaining goods for donating, etc., consumes the baker. Uh, it then grows, consuming more and more of the townsfolk and becoming a larger and larger bakery good that the Hexer plans on using to consume the entire town in revenge for not insert slight against the Hexer that was previously stated. Okay. All right. I get where this is going. I get where this is going. The croissant, the killer croissant. Okay. There's a lot of open-endedness there. I feel like this is hard because there was only 2 pages allowed, like literally a 2-page limit. I think there was a 2-page limit. Actually, I might take that back. I actually think that maybe there was a 1-page limit. And the reason there are 2 pages is because Darth Vader's personal version was included in the second page. Like, so all of the details got filled in, I think. Um, let's see when we get there. I don't want to look too far ahead, but so this might have even been a 1-page limit. So with that being said, you can tell the creator, Darth Vader, was trying to, I think, give plenty of room for creativity, while at the same time trying to create enough of an outline for an adventure that it could be plug and play with customization from the GM. And so far, so good. It is hard to do that on one sheet of paper. So excellent job so far, and kind of funny and zany. All right, here we go. Adventure hook. The players arrive at town of insert name and hear rumors of disappearances while eating a meal at the tavern. The players are responding to a help wanted advertisement to help the town of insert name with a recent string of missing townsfolk. Synopsis. The players head to the town of insert name and find out about the occasional disappearances or are responding to a help wanted advertisement about them. While there, they discover a seemingly random string of people leaving that don't appear to have any commonality to put them together. They investigate around town and try to learn from the families and friends of those who are missing to find out anything that connects them together that they could look for to find the next potential victim. They find a link and set themselves up to be the next targets or find the next target to follow the perpetrators to bring them to justice. They find out through whatever way that the hexer is living in the woods outside of the town and is bringing all the victims, now baked goods, to the growing baked good creature to become one with it, making it stronger. The party must now fight the hexer and its creation to put an end to the terror facing the town. Okay, wait a minute. Here I got a little confused. Let me read this one more time. They investigate around the town and try to learn from the families and friends of those who are missing to find out anything that connects them together. And I'm assuming it's the bakery. They've all bought baked goods. I'm imagining like they've all gone to the baker. That seems to be the commonality to me just off the top of my head. But I'm not sure if I'm right about that. Missing to find out anything that connects them together that they could look for to find the next potential victim. They find a link and set themselves up to be the next targets or find the next target to follow the perpetrators to bring them to justice. Okay. But it doesn't mention the bakery. It doesn't actually mention what the link is. So that must be left open-ended. But to me, it's like they've all gone to the bakery. They find out through whatever way that the hexer is living in the woods, okay, outside of the town, and is bringing all of the victims, now baked goods, to the growing baked good creature to become one with it, making it stronger. So they're turning the victims into baked goods and feeding them to the bigger baked good. Okay, that's wild. I did not see that coming. The party must now fight the hexer and his creation to put an end to the terror facing the town. Okay, creature. The creature is modular in build and has a mechanic of being able to use some of the abilities of those it consumes. For instance, if it consumed a ranger hunter type of individual, then it might have gained the ability to fling a part of itself longer distances to deal damage. If the croissant eats a ranger, is it going to have favorite enemy? Is its favorite enemy going to be a baker? Because who is the most dangerous enemy of a croissant? Probably a baker or a hungry person. If it consumes a healer, it may gain the ability to heal itself in some way. If it consumes someone with the ability to use a type of magic, then it might be able to use those same magics as well, but possibly to a lesser extent or ability. The individuals that have been consumed and the abilities and skill gained are up to the GM, but it should also be an ability of the creature to be able to absorb limited abilities and skills from the players should they become consumed, even if temporarily. Okay, that makes sense. Now, okay, example on next page. I see. Okay. So let's go to the next page and take a look at the example. The Killer Croissant by Darth Vader. Background. In the town of Ramasan, there is a baker's shop owned by Clarion Beville. The bakery was visited by an elderly woman who was actually a fey witch in disguise, who had attempted to get free samples of everything that Clarion sold at his bakery, and enough of each sample to fill the stomachs of a small gathering's worth of people. Of course, Clarion refused such a demand, as he was not in the business of giving away a verifiable feast of his baked goods in the guise of samples. After the refusal, the witch placed a curse upon his business, specifically onto one of the baked goods, a croissant to be exact. Clarion paid it no heed and assumed her to simply be an angry woman who was used to getting free things if she made enough fuss. The croissant, however, became animated, and when the baker went to gather the goods it didn't sell to hand out to the less fortunate, it consumed the baker. It then grew, separating after growing past the form of Clarion, and went about consuming more and more of the townsfolk and becoming a larger and larger croissant that the witch was planning on using to consume the entire town in revenge for not being given the food she demanded. She continued to wait, sending out more animated croissants that were taken from the forms of those already consumed until it was large enough to accomplish her goal. Oh, okay, I see. Okay, I see. Adventure hook. The players arrive at town of insert name. Okay, we have the adventure hook. Synopsis. The players head to the town of Ramasan and find out about the occasional disappearances, or are responding to a help wanted advertisement about them. While there, they discover a seemingly random string of people leaving that didn't appear to have any commonality. To put them together, they investigate around the town, try to learn from the families and friends of those who are missing to find out anything that connects them together that they could look for to find the next potential victim. They find a link. The one who disappears gives a random individual a basket of baked goods and sets themselves up to be the next targets or be the next target to follow the perpetrators to bring them justice. Ah, okay. So it wasn't that they were at the bakery, but it was that they were given a basket of baked goods or that they gave. Yeah. The victim gave away a basket of baked goods. Yeah. Okay. No, no, no. Uh, that is okay. Imagine for a minute that you're running this and they're questioning people. People have to have seen something. People have to have seen the baked goods running around. Imagine how zany it is when they start to hear stories. I saw it. It came out of the corner. It was large. It looked like a donut, right? Like, because imagine it's not just croissants. The big bad is a croissant, but there are probably various other things: biscuits, loaves of bread, donuts. You know, so it's like it looked like a donut, like a large donut, and then it just swallowed him whole. And then imagine, like, that's kind of zany, but then you could make it really terrible too. You could make it like, I'm wondering if there are like grisly murder scenes in the places where the baked goods basically, assimilate the townsfolk. Like, what if the donut, when they animate it, it runs around and it's kind of little, right? Like, but then I'm assuming something magical happens when it attacks someone. Maybe it grows really big and then devours them. But then maybe is there blood everywhere? Is it a violent murder scene? And then there's just nothing to be found, and the big donut goes slinking off into the shadows. I feel like there's a lot of, I feel like that's what I would make it be. It's sort of like think of like werewolf attacks, but then insert donut for werewolf. So you start it being like horrific, and then it's like baked goods, and then it gets kind of funny and weird, but then you make it double horrific. I feel like that's what I would do. Creature. The creature is modular in build and has a mechanic of being able to use some of the abilities of those it consumes. Okay, so we talked about this already. Twist. If the croissant creature falls below half health, it will attempt to consume the witch, gaining access to all of her abilities and half of any resources remaining, rounded up to use those abilities. It also heals itself the amount of health the witch had remaining, up to its health maximum. The croissant also has access to a drain ability that will siphon spell skill ability resources from those it manages to hit and can use them on the following turn. Conclusion. While it is unfortunate that none of those already consumed can be brought back, the threat is now over. Okay. That's good to know. Okay, here's my takeaway. Here's my big takeaway. I think that this is really fun. I can totally see why this won. This is very unexpected. It comes out of nowhere, but it really does have a solid adventure structure. And there's a pretty solid, like, there's a simple but solid plot structure in the sense that, yes, people have gone missing. Yes, it's a mystery. Yes, there's a cause. But then what I think is the most fun is that there's a link that they can discover if they investigate, which is the people gave away a basket of baked goods before they disappeared, right? And the last person to have seen them was usually the one who received the basket. So that was in Darth Vader's example version, but I really think that's cool. I was going to say they found out they had just gone like to the bakery, but whatever. Having that kind of commonality there and giving that to the players to discover is kind of a really cool insert the blank mystery element of the adventure that adds a cool feature. It's sort of difficult sometimes to insert mystery into these things because a lot of times mysteries get difficult to run without railroading if you don't really kind of plan them out. So the best way to run mysteries, in my opinion, is to run them simple, but what details there are, you have to pre-plan them so that nothing is like railroaded. And so because it's hard to improvise a mystery because it's like a whodunit, well, it'll make the most sense if that has already been plotted out. In this case, it has already been plotted out, but the player characters know nothing about this. They just have to discover what the heck is going on. So very cool adventure. I think it's a very solid structured adventure. And for being limited to one page. Very well done. So Darth Vader, I think that this is a really cool adventure. I love this idea. I would totally run this adventure. I might even, I mean, I think I might rather play in this one than run it because I think it would be so much fun to play in. I would love to see some art generated of like donuts attacking people and croissants attacking people and have it be like a terrible horror movie scene. I think that would be really cool. I would really run this. I would run this like really dark, really grim, really violent and brutal. Then there would be these little like humorous things that are like, what? And people might laugh because it's kind of ridiculous. But then I would stay with that grim theme. So I kind of like that contrast. I think that's funny. Sort of like, if you watch like the movie Krampus, it's just like really zany, but it's stays so grim for the whole movie. So much of it, you're like, this doesn't make any sense. None of this makes sense. But that's part of like the magic of those types of movies. I feel like that's how I'd run this. Anyway, boom, there's my response. Darth Vader, thank you so much for taking part in the contest. Thank you so much for creating such an awesome thing for us. Now, Darth Vader did want me to call out some of the other entries as well. And so I'm going to do that. We're going to take just a couple minutes and we're going to go through the other entries. And by the way, if you want to see any of these entries, if you want to download the PDFs, if you just join the GM Philosophy Discord, links in the description, you can totally find that. And just for the sake of brevity, so that this video doesn't end up being like an hour long, I'm going to give like a synopsis of these adventures. And then if you want to read further into them, like I said, jump in the Discord. So the first thing we have here is by Hylian Sword. Chaos Comet. A mysterious comet crashes into the heart of a peaceful kingdom, awakening ancient slumbering gods who become angry, volatile versions of their true selves, endangering the kingdom. The players must uncover forgotten myths to prevent the world from unraveling. That's pretty metal, actually. All right. Now we're going to take a quick look at Heaven Plains. Yeah, Heaven Plains by Crossheart. Adventurers Wanted. Setting. The city of Haven, mostly known for its exports and natural resources and livestock, is located in the center of the Haven Plains. Normally a fairly peaceful region, it has recently been plagued by an influx of goblins and kobold attacks. The lone local adventurer cannot handle it all on her own, so a request for help was sent out to surrounding lands. The Haven Plains themselves were generally peaceful before the rise of monster attacks. Even the western river village of Frogmorton didn't see much conflict beside the regular drunken brawl, although the receding river level is causing some worry. While some monsters make their homes in the sprawling dark Dormark Mora Mountains to the north, the real danger lies in the Worgen Forest to the east. Travelers are advised to stay out of the forest. There's no telling what creatures may lurk within. Okay, cool. Very cool. I like Crossheart's adventures. I've actually played in one of his one-shots and super, super fun. Really awesome. Next up, we have Last Requiem by the Crimson Lord. Here's the overview. A series of deaths have plagued the Cawdor family, a wealthy and noble house in the city of Iliux. Fearing the worst for their legacy, the Cawdor family will do everything to stop whoever is behind the murders. This is like a whodunit. I like this. Depending on your system and setting, the players can take the role of investigators at the service of the city or mercenaries hired by the Cawdor family to protect them and find the culprit for the murders. Rewards can range from coin to fame, recognition, status, or favors. Nice. I like it. Seems really cool. Next, we're going to look at Lost Prison by Garrick. Now, we've taken close looks at a lot of Garrick's creations. Garrick has created actually many emails that we've sent out, like email adventures and stuff, and has also been a fixture in the publishing community, even helped to publish there was an ebook. I can't remember exactly what the name was, but it was like 50 mundane shops. So that ebook, if you want to pick that up, links in the description. But Garrick has been creating all kinds of awesome stuff for a long time in the GM Philosophy Discord. So here's the synopsis of The Lost Prison by Garrick. A long-abandoned prison, a weaker adventuring party tried to raid the place and failed, were captured, held for a court date that can never come because the civilization that made the prison is gone. Oh, interesting. Guards confiscated weapons, armor, spellbooks, and such, but left them the rest of their belongings. Their food is running out and they need rescue. The party may simply run across the place by chance, or it could have heard that another adventurer party went there recently and never came back. The guards had become undead, holding to their duty despite minor inconveniences like dying, and retain all class abilities unimpaired. The guards include spellcasters. There are two cell blocks. The minimum security side with weaker guards was taken over by ogres. Oh my God. The now captured party eliminated the ogres before attacking and losing on the max security side. The max security side, where the captured party is, was not damaged. The iron bars shown on the map should be bendable with a concerted effort by the rescuing party. The ones on the low security cell block were already bent open by the ogres. The guards on the high security side don't care what happens in the other cell block because it's not their responsibility. Wow, actually, pretty lit and pretty cool. I like that one. Super cool. But I usually like the stuff Garrick makes. So, boom. Well done, Garrick. All right, what do we have next? The Marked of Coastali by Pretzelcaster. Trapped in a realm of dreams created by the Fae, our heroes can only escape by freeing Coastali, the mighty dragon whose captivity holds the realm together. Oh, okay. So this is like a fever dream thing. The Fae are responsible for the realm's creation. After tricking Coastali and putting him in an enchanted sleep, they used the energy of his dreams and nightmares to create the planes. They drew other dragons into the realm by stealing their names and locking them into various planes of the realm. Then they were all set up to draw mortals in to generate and harvest their dream energy. Finding nightmare energy more potent, the Fae structured the planes as a funnel to direct mortals into the deeper, more nightmarish planes. The Fae are motivated to send mortals to lower layers and as much as possible to entertain themselves and traumatize the mortals along the way. Okay. And then it goes on to talk about the dragons and the inhabitants, but that gives you a synopsis of it. Seems cool to me. Seems like adventures like this can really fit into longer term campaigns because since it takes place in like a dream realm, it could really be like the players accidentally fall into a dream realm wherever they are in your adventure, and then they have this adventure, and then they come back out and they've escaped with some loot. So I really like plug and play adventure templates like that. Really, really cool. Next, we have Mayor's Mansion by Doug Dingle. Doug has been I think Doug is a more recent member of our Discord community, but has been super active. I've really had some great conversations with Doug. This is a fun design. The Mayor's Mansion. A band of peasants, unhappy with the local government, seeks your aid to break into the Mayor's Mansion and take over the town. At the town tavern, the players notice a group of peasants and workers, all huddled at a table in the corner, speaking in hushed tones and with frantic looks on their faces. After a while, and various not-so-clandestine looks at the players, the lead rabble-rouser named Gustavo walks over. He wants to enlist your help by adding some seasoned muscle to his operation. The plan is to smuggle in some of the braver peasants along with the heroes in the backs of the vegetable and goods cart. The delivery is made once a week, and the guards no longer bother checking after months of uneventful deliveries. If the players agree, Gustavo informs them of their plan and why they are so discontent. Okay. Breaking into the mayor's mansion and taking over the town. So there you go. That's the mayor's mansion. That's the little, basically the introduction to it. Sounds awesome. I like those kinds of adventures. Sneaking peasants in through the wagons would be really fun. Like, especially if there's like a noisy peasant too. That'd be super, super fun. Anyway, there's Mayor's Mansion. Next, we have Shadow of Death by John Haney. Now, John Haney is our lead Discord moderator and has even started making videos for the channel, released a Discord update not too long ago, but we'll be actually making videos pretty soon. So let's take a look at this. Shadow of Death by John Haney setting. This series of scenarios can be played in any sci-fi, steampunk, or magitech world. Oh, so this is different. This is not high fantasy like the others. The central location is an independent port city known for its lavish lifestyle and free market opportunities, something of a cross between early 1700s Tortuga and late 1900s Las Vegas. Nice, I like that. There should be several nations in the relative vicinity of the area, but this port city exists just outside the full jurisdiction of any of them. The players have been chartered by the city council as city marshals due to the critical lack of law enforcement. They don't want to risk the few officers they have on risky investigations, and you seem to have the skills to deal with some of the weirder things that go on here. Players can play the same character through the entire adventure or can switch characters as they desire, as the city's marshals have many members in rotation. Oh, so there's a bunch of scenarios. Okay, and then they could switch characters. That's really cool. Nice. Shadow of Death by John Haney. That's the brief introduction. If you want to download and use the whole adventure, join the Discord. It's right up in the top left-hand contest archives channel. And the last one here, Time Looped Village by ADHD. ADHD has become a really cool, awesome member of the Discord too. Had a lot of good conversations. Really, really cool. Super awesome person to hang out and chat about D&D stuff with. I'm not sure if we've played together. I kind of think we've played together, but I'm not 100% sure. I think we played in one shot together. But anyway, Time Looped Village Adventure Hook, made by ADHD, Elderglow Village. Elderglow is a small village nestled in a misty valley, far from civilization, surrounded by a deep, dark forest and jagged cliffs. The village is built around a crumbling stone shrine glowing faintly with arcane runes. Thatched cottages, a tavern, a bakery, a smith, and an inn line a cobblestone path. So pretty simple, small village. The crumbling stone shrine sits at the base of a towering oak at the center of the village, pulsing with faint magical energy. Ooh, okay. The air hums with latent magic and the sky is perpetually overcast, casting a dreamlike haze. Okay. Adventure Hook. I got to read the Adventure Hook because that sounds like really the introduction. The player characters will stumble into Elderglow and stay the night at the inn. The village is trapped in a time loop, and at midnight, the village resets to repeat the same day for the past 50 years. It's Groundhog Day. It's Groundhog Day, but for fantasy with swords and magic. Anyone who is present in the village at midnight when the loop happens will become trapped in the time loop as if they were there when it began. If they attempt to leave the village at midnight, the time loop will reset, pulling those trapped back to the village in their position when they became trapped. The loop is tied to the shrine, which holds a fractured crystal pulsing with temporal magic. The player characters must uncover the crystal's origin, navigate the village's secrets, and break the loop. The player characters recall all their memories of the previous loops when the time loop resets. Okay. Actually, that's really cool. That's super cool. I love timey-wimey stuff in D&D. I know it can get messy, but to be honest, it's like I really, really love it. And there you go. Now I have reacted to the winning contest entry, which was Killer Croissant by Darth Vader, and all of the other entries which made awesome, notable appearances. Thank you to all the amazing creators who made this contest possible. Make sure that you jump into the Discord and don't miss the next contest creation adventure. If you like creating cool stuff for D&D adventures or for TTRPGs, then that's awesome. Here at GM Philosophy, the goal is to empower game masters to run better games. And I love to see what game masters create when they create awesome stuff. So boom, super fun, and have really had a good time reacting to it. Make sure that you come back for the next episode of GM Philosophy in the morning. I'm here a couple times a week, and so are other creators, sharing videos about how to become a better game master. With that, have a great day, and I'll see you awesome people on the next one.